Hello everyone, it's Ingame ESO here with a new quick video on the upcoming New Life Festival event. And the question here is not only what you can do during this event, but how can you make the most money during this event, in the first days especially. So what can you do, what is it about, and how to prepare for it. Let's check it on the official Elder Scrolls Online site, where we get some more information about the event. It is starting next Thursday, December 15th, and goes until January the 3rd. So, what is so special about this event? First off, you get a 100% XP buff for 2 hours if you activate the event buff. This leads to many people farming XP during this event and like doing dolmen runs or a Black Rose Prison or anything, but for that they need mythical and other ambrosias. So let's check in the game what people will buy. And this is, for example, these two things, the ethereal and mythic ethereal ambrosia. These things will most likely increase in price because there will be much more demand during this event on that. So it doesn't hurt to stock up on these already or to sell them when the event launches. As ingredients for those, you need perfect row for the normal Psychic Ambrosia, which is already quite expensive with around 60,000 gold. So that might increase a bit in price too, as well as the Ethereal Dust and the diminished Ethereal Dust. So prepare on that stuff and maybe sell either the ingredients or the fully made ambrosias. So not only people will need the things to level quicker, but as well what to do a lot of XP besides of like farming Black Rose Prison or anything. People will do Master Writs, and these are, for example, normal alchemy writs like these ones, and you can do those quite easily. And when handing them in all in time, you can do a lot of XP. So many people will buy a lot of these sealed writs to level quick. Especially alchemy and enchanting writs are quite fast to do, and provisioning as well. So expect a nice price increase on that stuff. Usually I'm selling the alchemy writs, like the 5 voucher ones, like this ones, for around 20 to 30,000 gold each, and the 2 voucher ones for around 18 to 20,000 gold, depending a bit on the location where you sell them. Enchanting writs with 2 vouchers go as well quite good for like 15,000 gold, and all other normal writs like blacksmithing and clothing, etc., sell a bit better than usual as well, because some people level with those too. So prepare a lot of these writs to either use yourself if you want to level up your character and champion points, or if you want to sell them for a huge profit margin. Okay, let's go back to the site and check what other things this event holds. So what can you do if you do these event quests? What do you gain? You get, I think this is new, like a parcel of alchemy, provisioning, or enchanting crafting materials, which doesn't really matter a lot because it won't be a huge amount. You'll get a lot of the old stuff in the quests. So if you still have, like, for example, I don't know, skin changer motif pages, sell them now because they will for sure decrease in price during the event by a lot, as well as rune boxes and recipes from the event. Quite important are the drops of the Imperial Writs and the Skull Master Writs, or I think Deep Winter Master Writs called in game, because these writs have quite an impact on the market. If we go back to the game, you see these Deep Winter and Imperial Charity Writs. People do these not only to level up their characters during this event as well, but as well to fulfill like an achievement, which you can see here in the holiday events sector that you need to do 12 of these to get the Crystal Frost skill. And some of the newer players might not have that yet and will want to fulfill this achievement, and therefore will need to do these writs. I think the price of these writs won't be that high, even in the first days, because there's still a lot from the last years, and there's many people who already did those. But the ingredients for how to fulfill these writs will increase in price, because the people who need to do those will have to do those, and therefore will need to craft these, for example, rough hatchet practical to fulfill these quests. But what is needed to do these things? So let's check. If you go on diagrams, and I think it's under workshop. Yes, rough hatchet practical. It needs 1 Regulus and 2 nickel. That's quite easy to fulfill, and most people will have those ingredients somewhere. But if you do like a lot of these writs, either to level or to fulfill the achievement, that will stock up in materials needed. And Regulus isn't that expensive, but if you check on that, you for example need rough bedroll and a lot other stuff, you really need a lot of hardwood. For example, rough crate reinforced is one of the things you need to craft as well. And that's 3 hardwood, rough crate is 2 hardwood, rough container is 2 as well. And that's quite expensive to do. And prices of hardwood and as well Regulus and bust are most likely to increase. So hardwood at the moment is around 1000 gold, a bit less, a bit more, and already increased in price during the last days. Checking here now, it's already going up to 1800. And therefore you really need to keep an eye if you want to like use a lot of your hardwood for these quests, or if you want to rather sell it for a high profit margin and price at the moment and during the first 1 or 2 weeks of the event. As we have seen as well, you need a lot of nickel for these things. That is actually quite funny, because people buy that nickel in Guild Store for an overpriced amount of gold. But you could actually simply buy it at any NPC, if you check here. So for 15 gold and endless amount, and you can easily sell it in the first days for 50 to 100 gold each without any issues. So I would recommend to not fill 30 slots in the guild store with 200 stacks of nickel, because that will kind of crash the market. But maybe you can find some niche if you like sell 50 nickel for, I don't know, 100 gold each. Then you have a nice profit margin and not a lot of effort to actually make some nice profit. And the last thing needed quite a lot as well is pitch, which is most likely to increase a lot during this event, as it's as well needed for some of the things you need to craft. So keep an eye out for the pitch, and maybe you can sell some stacks of it for even 300 gold each or some similar to make a nice profit. Yeah, going back to the site, we can see that else it's not a lot of new stuff. There will be a new armor style page. I guess it will drop once a day, which will for sure be worth 50 to 100,000 gold each in the first days. So it might be worth to do some of these quests as well to make some money. But else, there's not a lot of new things, and therefore there's not much more to make money with during this event. So yeah, that's it from my side. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned some things new. And yeah, make a nice money margin during this event.